The IMF recently said Mexico's recent tax overhaul does not do enough to curb the government's dependence on oil revenue, while other major reforms may not boost economic growth as much as authorities predicted. I have Ed Jones from World Economics on the line. The Sales Managers Index shows that modest growth continues in November. So Ed, do you agree with the IMF in believing the tax reform does not do enough and other reforms will not boost the economy? Also Ed, do you think we will see only modest growth?
The World Economic Sales Managers Index for Mexico is a monthly survey that doesn't try to lay blame or reason for or against economic policy. The report's findings are based on fact, not fiction, with results aggregated from managers all over the country and from all industry sectors. In Q3, Mexican GDP rebounded faster than expected at 0.84%, which is up from a 0.55% contraction in Q2. The primary contraction came from the agriculture and forestry sectors of the Mexican economy. These will have been affected by the widespread flooding in September. The secondary sectors, which cover manufacturing, mining, construction and utilities industries, grew by 2% quarter-on-quarter. When combined, this represents a 0.84% quarterly GDP growth rate in Q3. During Q4, there have been no natural disasters, so we expect GDP growth to continue at the rate previously seen. However, the SMI does suggest that growth has not returned to the same levels as seen in Q1 and Q2, which does leave us to question what other influences are at work, some of which could be those that you have alluded to in your question.
But Ed, market growth has turned a corner as the report shows an improvement from last month. So what do you predict for market growth and fourth quarter GDP?
Our market growth data reports that the rate of decline has stopped and a very modest reading of 51 was recorded in November, up from a low of 49.7 in October. Although we should not expect large or rapid changes in the market growth index, it is apparent that the Mexican economy on a whole has cooled throughout 2013, and more noticeably since April or May. Business confidence has also dropped from its peak in August, which does suggest that there is a fundamental economic change taking place. However, the annual rate of growth in Mexico was 1.3% in Q3 and 0.84% for the quarter alone. Looking at the latest SMI data, Q4 growth is expected to close at around 1%. It is worth noting that summer extends into November in Mexico, which is also the lead up to the Christmas holiday season for clients in the US and Latin America. We would expect to see the sales index increasing month on month, but over the past 4 months, the trend has been stable, with November reporting a low of 48.7, which represents a very small amount of negative growth in company sales. We will just have to watch this trend in the coming months to see what happens.
And price inflation continues to fall. Sales managers have been consistently reducing prices in an effort to boost sales over the past quarter. Ed, can you tell us some more about this?
The prices charged index for November registered 48.0, which is the third straight month of sub-50 readings, where 50 represents no change. Although the readings are below 50, they do not represent a crisis, and it could suggest that sales managers are having to discount prices to stave off competition from both domestic and foreign investors. With confidence in future business conditions continuing to fall slowly, prices are reported as being discounted and product sales growth remain flat. We can only observe that the Mexican economy has stalled slightly in the short term, with only moderate economic growth forecast. Sales managers are obviously working hard to maximize their revenue, but tough competition is keeping profits in check. The positive effect of heavy discounting does have the benefit of a reduction in the consumer price index for the last 8 months.
Ed, as always, thank you very much for joining us on Dukascopy TV. Viewers, do stay tuned as we have plenty more coming up today. See you soon.